Hey guys, welcome to a Sunday Live. My name's Taylor. On this channel, I make videos about health, wellness, and leveling up in your life. And before I get started on what we're going to do today, I just want to talk about some updates that have been happening in my life that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So this weekend was my birthday weekend, and I've had a really amazing time with my friends and family, and it's just been amazing weather. It's starting to get a little bit cooler down here on the south coast, but it has been really nice. Also, I have been working really hard on getting some business things running to launch this week, and I will be releasing them along with some other videos that I'll be publishing later this week as well, and I'm super excited to share that all with you. And I'm also doing a bit of a software update for these lives, so I'm waiting on some more equipment, and then these lives can, go to the next level, and I can continue creating a community with all of you awesome people out there and really level up what's going on here in these lives. So please leave a like if you haven't left a like already. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hello. And what else is new with me? Well, it's actually a full moon tonight as well. And I've been doing a lot of reflections because it's been my birthday, and I could not have imagined what's happened in this world in the past year. And it's been really chaotic, as it has been for everyone. This time last year, I spent my birthday in the hard lockdown, and we couldn't leave the house, and it was like pretty intense, and I couldn't see a lot of people I wanted to see. So this year was really lovely. I think I went out so many times just because I could. I was so excited because it's just such amazing weather. Got to catch up with a few people, try some new places. And I also have been filming this weekend. So my next vlog is going to be about my birthday weekend. I'm really excited to share some really cool vegan places I've tried out. And all of you South Coast locals get excited because the vegan scene here has just totally leveled up. I had the most amazing meal last night, and I'm really excited to share those. Oh, thank you. I'm really excited to share those guys on my channel. They were really lovely. And yeah, I mean, life is just great, guys. I've learned so many things this year. You know that song, Nobody Likes You When You're 23? Sometimes if I was having a rough day, I kind of sung that song. But I mean, things are pretty good this year. Life has been really great to me. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. That has been really lovely to get in touch with some more people. And yeah, I've learned a lot of things this year. It's definitely been a very chaotic time for everyone, and I've really honed in on a lot of spiritual practices. I also finished uni. I moved around quite a bit, and I've done quite a lot of traveling. So, this year I'm just even more excited for all of the amazing things that can happen with the world starting to open back up, and things seem to be getting a lot better. And with this reflection, I thought it would be a really nice opportunity to do some journaling with you guys. I might wait a little bit longer until a couple of more people get on board. So for those watching right now, if you would like to join, in the description, there are some journal prompts if you don't get to write it down in time. And anyone who's watching this video after the live's been published, that list will be there for them. This is totally an experiment, and if you guys enjoy it, I might even continue these in the coming months and make PDFs for you guys to download in the future and make some really cool artistic stuff. But this is just a test run, and I thought this would be fun. So get a pen and paper ready, and I will just talk a little bit more about a few other things before a few people get on board. So also, for those who don't know, Seaspiracy is out on Netflix. I haven't actually seen it yet, but I've heard quite a few good things about it. So I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't already. And what else? I had a look through the news. I think I'm going to resume the vegan news segment of stuff I find interesting next week once I've had the software updates. And yeah, I'm super excited. I just get so nerdy about gadgets and equipment and stuff. So those are in the mail on their way, and I'm ready to take YouTube and these lives up a notch. So for those, if you've just joined, grab a pen and paper because we're going to be doing some journaling exercises soon. And yeah. So just to kind of give a bit more information about journaling and goal setting in general, I don't always do monthly reflections. I know a lot of my friends who do new moon and full moon rituals absolutely love doing this regularly. It's a great way to check in. And goal setting in general is great if you break it down into bite-sized pieces. If you've just tuned in and you have already followed this channel before, chances are you're probably already really into the self-development world. Ooh, probably should put that on silent. Chances are you're probably already into goal setting and the self-development world. So this, I guess, can kind of shift according to where you are along with your goal setting journey. So just have a think about any current goals you have. Maybe recently you've done a plan for something you want in your life and you already kind of have a trajectory of where you're going. Maybe you actually haven't written any goals down in a while and this is the first time you've thought about it. And maybe it's a great place to start to do it monthly because it's not too regular to feel like a chore. I mean, doing these things once a month isn't such a big deal and isn't so much of a chore, but doing goals and reflections every month are really great because it's enough time to not feel stressed out about a goal, but it's not so far away that you kind of are a bit ambiguous and vague because you still need to think about all the small steps along the way. And you're thinking, well, you know, this is what I want to do and achieve, and I've got 3 weeks to make some progress. So it does keep your goals and intentions a little bit more practical. I found this works really, really well if you're at uni or if you're working, or even just for like your emotional and personal life as well, because goal setting and intention setting together is super, super powerful because you're not just thinking about the objective result that you're trying to achieve. That's all great, but having intentions there as well give you a little bit more of an emotional compass about how you want to feel while you're achieving these goals. Because we can have goals like, I don't know, say you're a musician and you want to sell tens and thousands of records. This is why I have water. So like when I get too excited, I can just take a breather. So yeah, say you want to sell like thousands of records or whatever, and you get caught up in the result of it. And then you actually end up resenting the goal because you're stressing yourself out to get the result. Whereas if you set the goal and have an intention of how you want to feel while you're on your way to this goal, then you're probably going to enjoy it a lot more. And that intention is going to really anchor you into a higher energy and feeling of purpose and in a much more graceful vibe towards that goal. So it's actually not really about the objective result. It's more about how you feel along the way as well. So we can kind of walk that balance where we're striving to do the things we want and to create the reality we want, but we also have these intentions to anchor us into the present moment as well. So yeah, I think it's taken me a long time to realize this, and I do fall into sometimes where I just think about the result and then I totally lose sight about how I'm supposed to be feeling on the way. And then it's usually a very rude awakening when you're like, oh, I'm like, this is something I love to do. Why do I feel so horrible? Like, and maybe when I felt like that, it's usually because I have these expectations of a result. And, you know, if sometimes things take more time than you think they need, and that will, you know, test your ego. And if you really kind of go, oh, okay, this isn't how I want to feel, on the way to this, you might actually be holding yourself back from that result anyway. So if you check into how you feel along the way and also keep tabs on how you're going, then hello, all the new listeners. It's really cool to see like new names in the community. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I love all of my viewers as well, all across the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate all you guys like really taking the time out to watch my videos. So yeah, make sure that going into this practice, you know, think about the objective result that you want, because we are physical creatures in this reality. We do have desires, and results are nice, but we also need to think about how we feel on the way to the results, because sometimes we might want something, and it's kind of like the law of attraction, I guess. If we are in a feeling of ease and grace, there's been some goals that I've accidentally manifested, and I haven't been like consciously exerting myself to get this goal. And then it just all falls into a place, and a lot of things just work out for themselves without you really having to do anything. And that's really great. Really great synchronicities start to occur when you walk in that path of ease and grace. That's cool to see like people tuning in from all places around the globe. So now I've kind of talked about intentions and goal setting. I'm still learning about this too. This isn't an exact science, and this is just what I've learned. I've been journaling for a while. So everyone get your pens and papers out. If you do miss a question, or if you tune in later or after the live, all the prompts will be in the description below. So before I do any journaling practices, I really like to drop in to how I'm feeling right now. So everyone just close your eyes and take a big, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Hear all the sounds of where you are at the moment, the sound of my voice, sounds in your room, in your house, or close by. And then feel where you are in your body and all the points of contact in the chair or the bed or wherever you are. How are you feeling at the moment? In Australia, it's Sunday afternoon, and I've had a really awesome weekend. I'm also a little bit tired because it's been really amazing and high energy. So I'm just checking into that, and that's where I am at the moment. I hope everyone's well and safe where they are. And get your pen and paper out, and we're going to do our March reflections. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start this practice with gratitude, I think that is a really powerful way to manifest things and to also to just show gratitude for what you already have. So to start with, write 10 things that you're grateful for that happened in the month of March. Also, feel free to put any of your gratitude sentences in the comments as well. Spread the positivity, but again, only if you feel comfortable. So that's what I'm going to do now, is write 10 sentences of gratitude. And these things can be as simple or as specific as you want it to be. Maybe you're just grateful that, like you had a sunny day today, or you had clean water, anything really. It's great to shift our focus on what we do have first. How is everyone going? So I'm going to share a few things about what I am grateful for. So I'm really grateful for my health at the moment, for clean air. Where I am, the air is really, really crisp and beautiful. And I'm also grateful for all my amazing birthday celebrations, and that my family, my friends are well, and I got to celebrate my 24th birthday with them. And I'm also grateful I made it to 24 as well. Yeah. And I'm also grateful for you guys, my amazing audience from across the globe, and this technology that even makes this happen. Like, if you think about how amazing all of this is that we have in our modern era, that's beautiful. I'm also grateful for the delicious vegan food too. I had some really great food today. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to share it in the vlogs. It was really, really great. And yeah, I'm just also grateful for an amazing day. So keep writing those sentences of gratitude if you need to, and then we'll start with the next one. So my next prompt is, how do you feel about this past month in general? Were there any, big things that happened? And also, are there any things that you need to release? Are there any habits that you're holding onto that aren't exactly serving you well, or some things you need to change in order to achieve the goals that you want to achieve? Also, those things are super personal, so please don't feel pressured to share them in the comments as well. I have a few little examples about habits that I'm trying to change in my own life. So I know that TikTok and Instagram are they're really designed to keep you scrolling. And I found in the past couple of weeks, I would be scrolling a lot, and I'm really taking out a lot of time from social media to read instead. So that's one habit I've been trying to release. And also, just in general, I've been trying to drink more water. That's awesome. That's cool. I'm so glad it's getting warmer up north. It's starting to cool down, like down here, but in general, we have pretty moderate climate apart from all of like some of the hectic stuff that's been happening, but it's leveled out in Australia again. Yeah. I'm also, drink more water and go to bed early are the habits that I'm trying to really work on. And I did get a bit better this week. So, yeah, I'll give you a moment to write this down in a journal or a notebook. How do you feel about this past month in general? Are there some negative mindsets, beliefs, or habits that you need to get rid of in order to empower yourself more? Were there any big things that happened, any events, anything with school or work or uni that were particularly amazing or enjoyable? So there's quite a few things that I was really happy about this month. I've been working on a lot of projects. For those of you who've just joined this week, I'm going to be launching a couple of things business-wise that I'm really excited about. And and I also have just gone through some little things that I could maybe tweak in order to save some more time. But let's move on to what were you happy with this month and what worked well for you. What worked really, really well? So I know reading more worked well for me. It's very calming and peaceful, and I find it really, really enjoyable. I'm also finding doing yoga more often has been really helpful as well. That's something that's working really well for me. Okay, so I've just written I've just written a few notes down of what else works for me. Now, this is the really exciting part where I want you to dream big and to get creative and to think about what you really want in your life as well. So, my next prompt is, what would you like to experience this month in April? This is where I'm going to kind of give you a few sections of life. You don't have to do goals and intentions for all of them because life tends to come in ebbs and flows, and we tend to focus more on some areas of our life just because of the natural ebb and flows of things. So sometimes, for example, if you're a student, you're probably not going to be socializing much around exam time. That's just an example. We all have different things we're trying to do and achieve. So sometimes it's not always helpful to try and focus on everything at once. So these are some of the life areas you might want to think about: career or business, finance, education, relationships, health, fitness, personal growth, spiritual growth. And when I was just writing some notes down, I don't tend to see this a lot in a lot of goal setting, but I think a really important one to think about is environment and sustainability, especially in this day and age where we're facing climate change. I think we can all use our individual sovereignty to help manifest a cleaner and happier world and environment, a better place for ourselves, the animals, and the plants as well. So those are some areas you might like to think about. And maybe you already have some goals that immediately come to head, like, I don't know, example for finance, you might want to make more money this month. But it might even be more powerful to set an intention behind that as well. So I'm just going to write a few down. So I won't go through all of them because I'm sure you guys are writing down your own things that you'd like to focus on. But for example, I, for relationships, have written down the intention that I intend to bring more love, kindness, fun, and compassion to those around me. So that's an example of focusing on the feeling, and even just saying that out loud actually makes me feel all those things I just said. So I'm already bringing that into my field, and I intend is bringing your words into action, and they're action words. That's like, oh my gosh, wow. It's an interesting way to explain that when we're getting esoteric. But yeah, so saying I intend, and then the feelings that you want to feel while you're, kind of focusing on the goal as well, makes it more about the journey versus the result. So say that you've just learned about the law of attraction or manifestation. You could easily write something down in relationships, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Like, I want to have 20 new friends by the end of this month, and you quantify it, and yeah, that's great. But how are you going to do that? That opens you up to, some negative things could happen on the way to getting that goal. But if you focus on the feeling towards it and kind of pair the intention and the objective result together, you're more likely to get that in a more loving and high vibe way. Because you might want to make a lot of money, and that's great because it's abundance and finances, but you also don't want to do it at the expense of others. So that's when intentions become really important. So yeah, so for that example, like if you want to make more money but not accidentally do it at the cost of others, I've written down as my intention is I intend to increase my wealth and abundance so I can help more people, because money, currency, Bitcoin, they're all just energy really, and ways, tools for us to help others and to make our dreams come true. So that kind of, I hope that encapsulates the intention and the objective result concept for you guys. So for those guys who just joined, I've noticed the numbers have gone up. Grab a pen and paper and start writing some intentions for April and what you want to experience this month going forward. Also too, like I've just written something down where for health and fitness, I wrote, I intend to experience more vitality, strength, and vibrance in my body. So that brings the feeling of what I want into my experience now. Just saying those words makes me feel more strong and more strong. It makes me feel strong. But the way that translates into like goal speak is, in order to do that more objectively, I will move my body every day. I will do yoga every day or something like that, or whatever you can manage. If you are healing from something, this is a really great way to bring healing into your body. So you could say, I intend to heal my body. some people, when they're new to spirituality, will say things like, I will not feel stress or hurt in my body if they're trying to heal something, right? But because you're saying hurt, stress, and those negative kind of words in that sentence, you're kind of amplifying those experiences to the universe. So just by saying, I will not experience hurt, stress, pain, you're kind of actually potentially bringing it more in. So when we're journaling, try and focus on what you're trying to amplify, because the universe doesn't know the difference between I do not want and I do want. So if you are trying to heal something in your body, focus on what you want to amplify. So that's why I've written down, I intend to feel more strength, vitality, and what did I write? And vibrance in my body. And then the habits around that might look like going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week or so forth, something like that, depending on what you find enjoyable. Also, this just came to mind, a lot of our kind of discomfort and struggles around building new habits can actually come down to our identities and how we view ourselves. So if you struggle with building new habits because you typecast yourself as someone who wouldn't do that or enjoy it, maybe you might want to set an intention of, I intend to see myself as a powerful being who does X, of something that you want to do, but you hold yourself back from doing because you think you're not good enough or something like that. We can have a lot of self-limiting beliefs around our identities, but we are actually quite empowered, and what we focus on grows. So yeah, I mean, I've had times like when I was at uni and I kind of, because I was 18, I was really excited by the clubbing scene. So I went out like a few months in a row and I was drinking, and then I noticed that I wasn't feeling healthy and I was putting on a little bit of weight. And what really helped me shift out of that is I didn't identify with that lifestyle anymore. I was like, I want to be the type of person that goes for a run, works out, and when you don't feel like doing it, doing the habit becomes about more like, this is just what I do, versus, oh, it's a habit that I don't really want to do because I'd rather go clubbing, that sort of thing. If you identify with your habits, then they're going to stick around a lot longer. And I'm just sharing knowledge that, I've read a lot of books about this and stuff. So this isn't all my thoughts. These are just, little nuggets that I've kind of kept in my mind along the way. So try and identify with your new habits. And I mean, it's kind of like in The Sims where you can change your avatar. Like we can change, the things we want about ourselves if we want to feel more empowered. Of course, as long as it's not to make sure we live up to expectations of others or negative expectations of ourselves. It's more about living a more empowered life and a healthy one too. So I'm just going to write a couple more intentions myself. Okay, so feel free later on if you'd like to elaborate on those, but just in the interest of time, I'd like to move on to the next practice. Sometimes these journaling exercises can take me an hour or two, especially if I have a free afternoon, but you can condense them down and just focus on a couple of things at a time if you feel free. Do I look at them daily as a reminder? I have in the past. The times where I've stuck these goals, vision boards, or monthly intentions up on my wall is actually where I see the more results. So I do sometimes this month, because you've just commented that, I am going to stick them up on my wall, and I will check in next month and see if my manifestations are more powerful. But yeah, when I first started doing this, I stuck them behind my cupboard door. I was living in a share house, and sometimes having these really personal things up are not ideal. So I kind of like hid it behind my closet. But every time I went to get dressed, I had this like massive A3 sheet of all these intentions I read out. So if I was feeling a little bit off, I would just kind of like have a read and sometimes repeat them out loud in a kind of affirmation manner. And sometimes the manifestations that month were a little bit freaky and super, super powerful. So yeah, I think that's a great idea if you feel like good doing it. Yeah, definitely recommend. But again, if you're in a share house or like kind of a shared space, it might be good to keep it private. I mean, of course, if you trust the people around you and they always support your dreams and stuff, like, but again, if you're in like a more transient atmosphere and you don't want to share your deepest desires with everyone around you, because some people accidentally bring up their own self-limiting beliefs if you talk about something you want to do, and that can actually have an impact on your progress with it, because someone might say something like, oh, that's like, you think you can do that, and it might make you feel bad about it, and you totally can do anything you want, like as long as you don't hurt people or animals or anything. So yeah, keep your desires close to you. I think I've spoken about this in another live, but an example of this was I started going to auditions when I was in high school, and I was really excited because I wanted to perform as an actor. And I told a girl at school, because I was just disappearing to go to auditions. And then I told her like before I started like seeing things happen, and she kind of was like, oh, like you're doing that. And I was like, oh, it kind of like hurt my little teenage soul. But then I was like, okay, for some things you need to keep it to yourself. But again, with people that support you, it's like totally fine. I mean, I've also done these things in a group setting, and it actually helps you sometimes curb your own self-limiting beliefs, because if you trust the people around you and you're talking it out as you're setting these goals, they might be like, hey, like, why don't you just go a little bit bigger? Like, that seems quite achievable for you. Why don't you just set the mark like a bit higher? Or yeah, so it's very situational and contextual. So read the room, and again, trust your own energy with who you're talking to about this stuff. I just went on a bit of a tangent. But now what we're going to do is we're going to write 10 sentences of gratitude for these experiences we're welcoming into our lives in April. So all the things that you want to happen next month, just act as if they've already happened. So basically what we're doing is we're going to thank the universe for these things that we want to experience. So for example, say you want to feel confident public speaking, and you've never enjoyed public speaking in your life, but you want to change that. So that's just a random example, but maybe write something like, thank you, dear universe, or whatever you like to call the divine energy in this world. Thank you I'm so grateful that my event went so well that I got a standing ovation or something like that. Like, it doesn't have to be too result based. Just maybe I'm so grateful that I felt confident and powerful speaking to a room full of people. And just saying that is as if it's already happened, is bringing it into your reality. I don't know if any of you guys have tried this before. Let me know in the comments if you have done. It's kind of like a scripting technique. I'm not too well versed on all the terminologies for each school of thought, but I find in general, writing it down and showing gratitude as if it's already happened puts you back on that vibration. In the spirit of this journaling exercise, thank you to the viewers watching this now for liking this video. If you've enjoyed it. Maybe you struggle making good food choices for yourself. Maybe you like to write something down like, I'm so grateful that I continually choose the best food for my body. Something like that. Maybe you might like to write something like, I'm so happy my relationships are peaceful, harmonious, and fun. Cool. So I've just written my 10 gratitude scripting sentences, and I think that pretty much sums up this whole journaling experience. I think that is a great exercise to finish on. It leaves you feeling really empowered, high vibed. I know after doing something like this, I always feel really great. I mean, I feel really great now and really excited. I mean, I'm releasing this on the 28th. So people who watch this after I've published the live will get a few days before like April officially starts. So yeah, thank you so much to you guys who've tuned in and done this exercise with me live. I feel like doing this in a group setting really does amplify all of the, energy and intentions we're bringing into this month. I'd actually really like to do something like this again next month and check in with you all about how you all went and if these exercises did work for you. Also, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Down the road, I'd actually like to make a few PDF downloadable files for this. So yes, please let me know in the comments if this is the type of content you want to see, and if you have any suggestions about any videos or live activities you'd like to do. Next week is going to be very different again. I am hopefully going to get all my new equipment this week. So everything on the interface is going to be a little bit jazzed up. I'm really excited. My dinner, I've got to go make it. I hope everyone watching this is well, and thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I make new videos every week and I have a lot of exciting ideas to bring to you all. And yeah, like the video if you haven't already. Good night, guys, and have a great week. I'm sure a lot of you may be working or studying. So just remember these intentions, stick them on your wall, keep them in your wallet if you like, and yeah, keep repeating them to yourself. Kind of maybe let go of the result a little bit. That might actually be what's holding you back from any of these goals if you've set those goals before. Focus on how you want to feel throughout the entire process. Yeah, I mean, I could talk all day about this. I'm already nearly at an hour now. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and have an amazing night.